Ladies and gentlemen, tennis enthusiasts, and sports fans from every corner of the globe, welcome back to the channel. Today, we have a story that is not just about tennis. It is a story about resilience. It is a story about grit, unyielding determination, and the sheer, unadulterated willpower required to conquer one of the most unforgiving surfaces in the world of professional sports. We are talking about the grass courts, the emerald lawns that have broken the spirits of veterans and tested the mettle of legends. And right at the center of this gripping narrative is a young woman who is rewriting the history books of Southeast Asian sports. We are talking about the 21-year-old phenomenon from the Philippines, Alexandra Eala. The breaking news hitting the wires today is nothing short of electrifying. The headlines are screaming, surprising. Alexandra Eala suddenly strengthened in the Birmingham Open. It is winning time. And let me tell you, every single word of that headline is earned. Every single word of that headline reflects a reality that unfolded on the historic courts of the Edgbaston Priory Club, where Eala has just stamped her authority as a bona fide grass court threat. To truly understand the magnitude of what Alexandra Eala is accomplishing right now in the 2026 Lexus Birmingham Open, we need to take a step back and look at the colossal weight of expectations resting on her shoulders. Coming into this tournament as the number one seed, sitting at a career-high ranking of world number 37, and recently being named to prestigious Forbes 30 Under 30 list, the pressure was immense. When you are the top seed, you are no longer the underdog. You are the target. Every player across the net is looking at you as the ultimate prize, the benchmark by which they will measure their own success. But what we have witnessed over the past few days in Birmingham is a masterclass in handling pressure. Eala has not just survived the target on her back. She has embraced it. She has absorbed the weight of a nation's hopes and transformed it into a weapon of sheer competitive dominance. The transition from the slow, grinding clay courts of the French Open to the slick, unpredictable, lightning-fast grass of the British summer is arguably the most difficult pivot in professional tennis. The ball stays low. It skids off the turf. The rallies are shorter, and the margin for error is virtually microscopic. If your footwork is even a fraction of a second late, if your center of gravity is too high, the grass will expose you. Many players need weeks to find their footing on this surface. But Alexandra Eala, she stepped onto the grass in Birmingham and immediately looked like she had been playing on it all her life. The sudden strengthening we are talking about is not just physical. It is a profound mental and tactical maturation. It is the evolution of a player who refuses to be pigeonholed as a clay court specialist and is boldly claiming her territory on the quickest surface the sport has to offer. Just think about the narrative arc of this young Filipina's career. From training at the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, learning the virtues of relentless baseline grinding and indomitable fighting spirit, to now applying those exact same virtues to the elegant, high-stakes game of grass court tennis. It is a metamorphosis that has left analysts, commentators, and fans absolutely spellbound. When you watch her play right now, you are not just watching a tennis match. You are watching a psychological thriller. You are watching a young woman solve complex geometric and physical problems in real time while moving at a dead sprint. The way she reads the court, the way she anticipates the low bounces, the way she commands the baseline with a blend of raw power and surgical precision. It is a testament to thousands of unseen hours of practice, the sacrifices, the sweat, and the absolute dedication to her craft. The story we are unpacking today is centered around her breathtaking performances against Australia's Priscilla Hahn and, most notably, her astonishing, heart-stopping comeback against Russia's Alina Kurieva. In that second-round match against Kurieva, Eala found herself staring straight into the abyss. Down 2 games to 5 in the second set, with the momentum completely flipped against her, 99% of players would have mentally checked out. They would have conceded the set, conserved their energy, and prepared for a decisive third set battle. But Alexandra Eala is not built like 99% of players. In that perilous moment, when the grass was playing tricks, when her opponent had seemingly cracked the code, Eala dug her heels into the turf and unleashed a tidal wave of sheer competitive fury. She did not just survive, she conquered. She reeled off 5 consecutive games in a display of tennis wizardry that will be talked about for years to come. This is why we say it is winning time. This is not just about advancing to a quarterfinal. It is about sending a resounding message to the entire Women's Tennis Association. Alexandra Eala is here. She is adapting. She is overcoming. And she possesses an inner fire that simply cannot be extinguished. This intro is just scratching the surface of the epic saga unfolding in Birmingham. We are about to dive deep into the tactical nuances, the physical demands, the heartbreaking doubles loss that fueled the singles run, and the tantalizing prospect of her upcoming partnership with the legendary Venus Williams. So, get comfortable, lock in your focus, and prepare to be amazed because we're going deep into the anatomy of a champion. This is the deep dive into Alexandra Eala's spectacular run at the 2026 Birmingham Open. Let's transition into the deep dive analysis of the spectacular campaign. To fully grasp the brilliance of Alexandra Eala's performance, we have to meticulously break down her opening match against Australia's Priscilla Honourable. Remember, Eala was coming off a disappointing first-round exit at the French Open against Iva Jovic. Coming off a Grand Slam loss, there's always a lingering question of confidence. How will a player rebound? Will the doubt creep in? Furthermore, her first outing in Birmingham was actually in the doubles draw, partnering with the Czech Republic's Nikola Bardunkova. In that doubles match against the British duo of Harriet Dart and Maya Lumsden, Eala and Bardunkova endured a grueling, heartbreaking marathon. They were up early, then fell behind, fought back to force a match tiebreak, and ultimately lost an agonizing 11-9 battle in an hour and 28 minutes. Losing a tight match like that, with 2 match points squandered, can mentally drain a player. It can leave a bitter taste that spoils the rest of the tournament. But how did Alexandra Eala respond to that doubles heartbreak and the clay court disappointment? She stepped onto the singles court against the 143rd-ranked Priscilla Hahn and delivered an absolute masterclass in grass court annihilation. The scoreline reads 6-0, 6-2, a wire-to-wire, merciless victory that took less than an hour. The first set was a breathtaking display of dominance. Eala wrapped it up in a mere 22 minutes. 22 minutes. In professional tennis, a 22-minute set is practically unheard of unless one player is executing flawlessly while the other is completely suffocated. Eala did not just beat Hahn in that first set. She dismantled her. She took away her time. She punished her second serves. And she dictated the rallies from the center of the baseline. Hahn tried to mount resistance in the second set, managing to break Eala's serve once and holding her own to trim the deficit to 5-2. But Eala responded with a love hold to slam the door shut. This match was a statement. It was Eala announcing to the locker room that she was not carrying any baggage from Paris. She was entirely present, fully adapted to grass, and ready to ruthlessly enforce her top seed status. She mentioned in her post-match interview how happy she was with the performance, especially noting it was her first singles match on grass for the season. That level of comfort on a slippery, unpredictable surface in match number 1 is a clear indicator of immaculate off-court preparation. However, the true test of her championship pedigree came in a round of 16 against a Russian formidable talent, Alina Kuriva. Now, these two have history. They first met back in 2020 when Kuriva took the win, but Eala had recently avenged that loss earlier in 2026 at the Philippines Women's Open, crushing Kuriva 6-1, 6-2 on home soil. But playing in Manila is entirely different from playing on the grass courts of Edgbaston. Kuriva had just come off a strong straight sets win over Grietmannen and was looking for revenge. The match began with Eala continuing her terrifying form. She broke Kuriva's first 2 service games with ruthless aggression, racing out to a 4-0 lead in just 14 minutes. She was seeing the ball like a watermelon. Kuriva tried to stem the bleeding, saving set points and throwing in deft drop shots, but Eala remained composed, converted her third set point to take the opener 6-2 in 39 minutes. At this point, the narrative seemed set. Eala was cruising. The top seed was on her way to another routine victory. But grass court tennis is notoriously fickle. The momentum can shift in the blink of an eye. In the second set, Kuriva completely changed her tactical blueprint. Recognizing she could not overpower Eala from the baseline, the Russian started utilizing extreme slice variety. She began chipping the ball, keeping it agonizingly low, forcing Eala to dig the ball out of the turf. She mixed in perfectly disguised drop shots and suddenly stepped into the court to hit more forceful ground strokes, completely disrupting Eala's established rhythm. This tactical shift was brilliant and it paid massive dividends. Kareeva broke Eala's serve, built a lead, and suddenly found herself up 5-2. This is the exact moment where we must pause and analyze the psychology of Alexandra Eala. The conditions were tough. The grass was playing a massive role. The balls were skidding, staying extremely low, and moving impossibly fast, leaving Eala with fractions of a second to react. The crowd was tense. The momentum was entirely with the Russian. It would have been so easy for Eala to mentally throw away the second set, take a bathroom break, and reset for the third. But Eala's sudden strengthening, her mental fortitude, came roaring to the forefront. She refused to let the conditions or the dire scoreline dictate her fate. Instead of panicking, Eala adjusted. She got significantly lower to ground, bending her knees almost to the turf to get underneath Kareeva's slice. She became lighter on her feet, taking tiny, rapid adjustment steps to ensure she was in perfect position for the erratic bounces. She ramped up her intensity, refusing to miss, and forcing Kareeva to hit winner after winner if she wanted to close out the set. This incredible defensive resilience completely broke Kareeva's resolve. Eala held her serve, 5-3. She then applied immense pressure on Kareeva's serve, breaking her back, 5-4. The momentum had violently swung back to the Filipina. Eala then held serve again to level the match at 5-all. The pressure on Kareeva was now insurmountable. Eala kept her foot on the gas, reeling off her fourth and fifth consecutive games, breaking the Russian once more and serving out the match to win the second set 7-5. From 2-5 down to 7-5, 5 straight games on grass. That is not just a comeback. That is a psychological demolition. It took her 1 hour and 40 minutes to secure the victory, but the lesson she imparted in that second set will resonate throughout the tour. You do not count Alexandra Eala out until the umpire calls game, set, and match. This extraordinary mental toughness is a hallmark of a true champion. It is the intangible quality that separates the great players from the good ones. When her back was against the wall, Eala did not shrink. She expanded. She problem-solved in real time under extreme duress. This sudden strengthening we are talking about is her ability to toggle between being an aggressive frontrunner and an impenetrable defensive wall. And the excitement surrounding Alexandra Eala is not just contained to the singles court in Birmingham. As she prepares for quarterfinals, the tennis world is buzzing with the news of her upcoming doubles partnership at the Bad Homburg Open. And who is her partner? None other than the trailblazer, the icon, the former world number 1 and 7-time Grand Slam singles champion, Venus Williams. Let that sink in. A 21-year-old rising star from the Philippines teaming up with one of the greatest legends to ever pick up a tennis racket. This is a monumental breakthrough moment for Eala. The invaluable experience, the tactical wisdom, and the sheer aura of playing alongside a Williams sister on a grass court is an opportunity of a lifetime. It speaks volumes about the respect Eala is commanding on the tour that a legend like Venus Williams sees her as a worthy partner. It is a passing of the torch moment, an incredible subplot to an already fascinating season. But before she heads to Germany to team up with Venus, she has a job to finish in Birmingham. Up next in the quarterfinals is a highly anticipated all-Southeast Asian clash against Thailand's Maninkaya Sawanki. The 23-year-old Thai player, ranked 173rd, has been having a phenomenal run herself, coming off a highly impressive straight sets victory over the American Kayla Day. Sawanki is dangerous. She is playing with freedom, and she will be eager to take down the top seed. But if Alexandra Eala brings the same level of intensity, the same tactical flexibility, and the same unbreakable spirit that she showed against Han and Kareeva, it is going to be exceptionally difficult for anyone to stop her. As we look at this entire picture, it is clear that Alexandra Eala is not just playing a tournament. She is on a mission. The way she has bounced back from adversity, both from her Roland Garros exit and her doubles heartbreak in Birmingham, showcases a maturity well beyond her 21 years. She is embodying the exact mindset she spoke about in a recent interview, stating her philosophy is to keep on working, keep on building. She is confident in herself, confident in her game even through losses, and understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint. But right now, on the grass courts of Birmingham, she is definitely sprinting toward the finish line. As we move toward the conclusion of our massive deep dive today, I want to take a moment to reflect on what Alexandra Eala's sudden surge actually means in the grand scheme of the sport. We are witnessing the blossoming of a generational talent, a player who carries the pride of a nation every time she steps onto the court. Tennis is historically a sport dominated by Europeans and Americans, particularly on the grass courts. For a young woman from the Philippines to arrive in England, seize the #1 seed, and dictate play with such ferocious authority is a monumental paradigm shift. It is a testament to the global expansion of the game and the incredible talent emerging from Southeast Asia. Her comeback against Elena Kharieva will be studied as a blueprint for mental fortitude. When you are down 2-5, your brain naturally starts looking for an exit strategy. The physical toll of the low, skidding balls combined with the psychological weight of an opponent who seems to have figured you out can be absolutely crushing. But Eala proved that true strength is not just about hitting the ball hard. It is about keeping your mind perfectly still in the middle of a hurricane. It is about trusting your footwork, trusting your preparation, and having the sheer audacity to believe that you can win 5 consecutive games against a world-class opponent. She did exactly that. She stayed low. She stayed light on her feet, and she ripped the match right out of Kariva's hands. And as we look ahead to her quarterfinal matchup against Maninkaya Sawanki, the stakes continue to rise. This is not just another match. It is a battle for regional supremacy on an international stage. Eala will need to reset emotionally after that draining comeback. She will need to ensure her first serve percentage remains high to avoid being put under pressure early in the rallies. Sawanki has proven she can take down quality opponents, having dispatched Kayla Day, and she will be looking to capitalize on any signs of fatigue from the top seed. But Eala's conditioning, honed at the Rafa Nadal Academy, is second to none. She is built for these deep tournament runs. Moreover, the impending partnership with Venus Williams at the Bad Homburg Open looms large on the horizon. Just imagine the conversations during changeovers, the tactical advice, the sheer confidence that will inevitably rub off on Eala from sharing the court with tennis royalty. It is a brilliant strategic move by her team to expose her to that level of greatness, particularly during the grass court season where Venus Williams has historically been virtually invincible. This experience will undoubtedly accelerate Eala's development, adding new layers to her already formidable game. In closing, the story of the 2026 Lexus Birmingham Open is undeniably the story of Alexandra Eala. She has shown us vulnerability. She has shown us dominance. And above all, she has shown us an unbreakable will to win. The headlines are absolutely right. It is surprising only to those who haven't been paying attention, but to those who know her game, her sudden strengthening is the natural evolution of a champion. She is finding her footing on the grass. She is executing her game plan with surgical precision, and she is proving to the world that she is a threat on any surface, against any opponent at any time. It is winning time, folks. The business end of the tournament is here, and Alexandra Eala is leading the charge. We will be watching her quarterfinal clash with bated breath, analyzing every serve, every volley, and every baseline rally. Can she maintain this incredible momentum? Can she capture the title and cement her status as a premier force on the grass courts? All signs point to yes. But as we know in this beautiful sport, the only certainty is uncertainty. Thank you so much for joining me on this extensive, deep dive analysis. If you enjoyed this breakdown, if you felt the passion and the intensity of this incredible sporting narrative, please make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. How far do you think Alexandra Eala can go in this tournament? What are your thoughts on her incredible comeback from 2-5 down? And how excited are you to see her team up with Venus Williams? Let's get the discussion going. This has been your comprehensive coverage of Alexandra Eala's phenomenal run at the Birmingham Open. Keep your eyes on the court, keep supporting your favorite players, and never forget the golden rule of sports. It is never over until final point is played. Until next time, stay passionate, stay engaged, and remember, when the pressure is at its absolute highest, that is exactly when it is winning time. Take care, everyone, and I will see you in the next analysis.